we're online. We're on the air now. So everybody, sorry about that. I am back. I'm just spreading the new link around. I don't know what that was about, but we are officially back on the air. Again, sorry about that, everybody. All right. Oop, a little bit of echo there. As I'm spreading around, so we were talking about the Martha Kent thing, about how it seemed. I don't know what that was about, but we are. Whoa, got a little bit of an echo thing going on here. All right.
Is
Anyways,
that coming from me or is that
it was
you?
me. The link popped up. But anyway, so all right, just sharing it around. So Martha Kent, you want to continue from there? I'm just going to share this around, and I'll chime in my 2 cents in just a few secs. So,
all right.
yeah. So, anyways, where were you? Where were you about? You're talking about Martha Kent, right?
So yeah, we were just. It seems to be an enormous point of contention with this movie is the sudden reason that Batman and Superman stop fighting, and that they're both of their names are Martha, right? And hearing this name is sort of triggers Batman into finding humanity in Superman, and yeah, people hate this. People cannot abide by this. They think it's the absolute stupidest reason ever. As someone, I mean, the stupider shit has happened in comic books. I will tell you the first like this logic is not uncommon. Okay, and it works. It is driven home throughout the movie that Martha, this name has such a significance to Bruce, and just hearing this alien, this creature who he has seen no humanity in, say this name that's so important to him, it is messed Batman up. Okay, I really think it makes sense. I don't think that the script takes shortcuts. I don't think that was one of them.
So, anyways, now since I'm kind of getting everything back on the air here, everyone's starting to join us again. So my thoughts about that. I think that it was he didn't like relent from killing Superman because Martha was the name of his mom, and it didn't have to do with that. It caught him off guard because he was in a really unstable position. I think you're talking about a person that is, even at his worst, still a master tactician. So he's had people try to manipulate him before. He's had people try to mess with him in the past as well. If Batman sees someone like Superman, like start off a fight by apologizing, which was also something I felt a little bad for Superman about. He started that fight apologizing to Batman, just saying, I was wrong. I'm sorry. And it was like, dang, I can't catch a break. But so I'm sure Batman thought about that in the fight. And that's part of, I think the wheels were already turning in Batman's head, but since he already started everything to play it safe, he wanted to finish at least getting Superman in a vulnerable position to then make his mind up. That's at least what I would do if I was Batman. You already have the plan. If you can't trust him, then get him in a position where you have the spear at his throat. Don't take a chance. That's why he wanted to at least make him bleed. That's what he did there. And then he was able to change his mind about that. But he did say he'd make him bleed. So that's kind of how I viewed the fight. The wheels already are in motion. Batman, for all of the years he has been in Gotham, for everything he has seen, he could not risk trusting Superman. He had to get him in a position where he could just kill him or not and then make his mind up. The Martha thing just happened to be something that may have grounded him, but Batman was still in control. He used the situation to his advantage, got Superman in a weakened position, a vulnerable position, and then was able to make his mind up. The Martha thing was just something to help kind of, bring him down, I suppose. But he had something was going on in his head during that. He's not a buffoon.
Yeah. No, when I say it was the reason he stopped fighting, I think it was a device to get them to bring Batman and Superman closer. It was sort of the catalyst to them setting their differences aside finally. And again, that's what this is about. Like, people are asking, why are Batman and Superman fighting? Why are they fighting? It's like, that's the point. That's the point. Why are they need to stop? They need to unite against a common for a common cause and be the heroes they were destined to be. Like
Yeah.
Justice League. That's what we're looking forward to. Like everyone, they're setting it up. They're setting it up. No one batted an eye. Well, I mean, a few people did, but most people agree that the best James Bond movie is Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. It opens up in a black and white scene with James Bond just murdering someone with his bare hands, like in a bathroom. Like it's an all new direction for that character. It's shocking, but it makes Bond make more sense in the 21st century. It feels more grounded, more emotional. It works within the context of the film.
Mhm. Sorry, I got a few people. I'm just reminding about the link. I'm just kind of like spreading them really fast.
Yeah, let me
All right.
let me share this new link too.
Free share around. I'll take over for a little bit. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about hype. I'm going to talk. So this year specifically, we have seen a movie on the. We've seen two different movies on two different parts of this spectrum. Specifically, one on the overhype part of the spectrum, The Force Awakens, and one on the kind of anti-hype, that's the best way I can call it, side of the spectrum, which is Batman v Superman. The Force Awakens is riddled with problems, and I made a video earlier talking about those issues. I've got a podcast at some point I'd like to do. This friend of mine, Justin, really wants to do one, and he has some good counterpoints he wants to make. And at some point, it'd be nice to have someone that disagrees. But I don't know. It's always funny. It's funny deconstructing things with you, though. So that being said, this movie is like a lot of the reasons why people who just unquestionably liked The Force Awakens, like a lot of things that annoyed me about that in reverse annoyed me a lot about the hate for this movie. Because this is such a case of bandwagoning. I think part of it is people didn't know what to make of this film. They were so used to all of these happy, straightforward Marvel movies, except for like maybe The Winter Soldier, but even that was still relatively lighthearted. They just didn't know what to do with this. They did not know what to do with the movie. Not so much what they're watching, but what to do with the questions this asked. Like this was arguably the heaviest superhero movie ever made.
It actually contemplated, why these characters feel this way. What, and again, the implication of the destruction, the deaths of these people, how these deaths impact, our relationship with these characters. It is thinking about all of these things, and to call it a shallow movie is to discredit it. I mean, there are a lot of shallow Marvel movies. I don't understand. It's unfair. They're applying criticisms to this movie that they are willfully ignoring. These same faults in Star Wars, in Iron Man, in everything that they love. It's just Batman versus Superman. It's just not as cool. It's just not as cool.
Yep.
Zack Snyder's not cool.
Yeah, it's frustrating because when I had a discussion with someone I was mentioning to you earlier, someone that came to the movie, or someone I met at the movie, and I had found out that they had a very negative connotation about the movie before they even saw it. And there's a lot of people like that out there. There's a lot of people out there that they heard bad reviews for this movie, and as a result, they want to feel like they have an educated opinion because they want to feel like they're smart. They don't want to feel that they don't know how they feel, but they know they want to feel smart. They know they want to feel like they have a correct opinion, not because it's their own opinion, but what is deemed socially correct.
This person sounds like they know what they're talking about. I'll just use that. That's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's going on. So that being said, there's a lot of that going on for there's a lot of that going on in the reverse for this movie. This movie, when it came out, I mean, they had a review embargo because I have a feeling that maybe they that people weren't ready for this. Ben Affleck talked about how intelligent the movie was in some interviews. He was bound to not talk about what was in it. He was not allowed to. So he, didn't really have a chance to say much, but he did say, this is a very intelligent movie. So this film, it's way more deep than anything like the Avengers. And again, doesn't mean the Avengers is a bad movie. Oh, a little overrated, sure. And I actually was part of that. I didn't want to question the Avengers. And my reasons for not wanting to question it was this proof of concept. I love both cinematic universes. So why would I just didn't want to question them. I want them to do as well as they possibly can.
In the spirit of variety and competition, why can't we, we shouldn't have just the same flavor of Marvel movies. And sure, we'll get some X-Men movies, we'll get a Guardians of the Galaxy, but for the most part, it is just this vanilla sort of flavor. And it is I mean, that's not just I'm not trying to generalize it, but they are all these films. I mean, and I don't know how many they're up to now. I mean, they all are fitting the same mold. They're all they just fit very neatly together. And kudos to them. Disney went in like gangbusters. They came in with this whole plan to unload these phases.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's not wrong. You can totally do it like that, but does DC really want? They're not going to take the time to. They have serious catching up to do. They got to, they really got to deliver and bring us something that the Marvel guys aren't doing.
Yeah, and that's what keeps this interesting. I mean, when this, I'll admit, Man of Steel had some issues, at least from where I've seen. There were things I didn't like about it. It just seemed like a bit of a mess to me, and I wasn't quite getting the tone of Man of Steel, but with this movie it made more sense to me. It seemed like it's starting to come full circle, and I kind of see where they're heading. I have a feeling that a resurrected Superman he's going to be more of a complete character. He won't be so much full of doubt because he's gonna have a world that sincerely, spoiler alert, missed him. They're gonna really miss him after he died. Now, in order to make this movie work, they had to take what's the greatest Superman story of all time? Well, arguably, the one that sold the most. The Death of Superman was record shattering.
Oh yeah, it completely reinvigorated the character. It's absolutely. I mean, it was in the 80s, right? And this was the comic book crash in the 80s. That's exactly. I mean, again, that's why The Dark Knight Returns put the character back on the map. They went back to the drawing board with these characters. Like Superman, the one guy you can't kill. We're gonna kill him. We're gonna, let's have this politically charged heavy drama with Batman. Let's have an aging Batman who has grown just bitter and hateful. Let's have him fight Superman. We know that doesn't happen, but we're gonna make a situation that forces them to do that. And again, we'll bring back to that scene where Lex is meeting up with Clark Kent and Bruce. That scene shows you right there that they are his pawns right now. He knows who they are. He's already set this in motion. It's I'm starting to get off on a tangent here, but again, great things can happen when you just go back to the drawing boards. Where can we take this character? How can we, what kind of situation what challenges can we put them against and reveal a new side about these characters?
Right. They wanted them to try to grow as characters, is they wanted to address who they are. These superheroes were made in the 30s and 40s, at least Batman and Superman. These are very, very old characters. And they represented different things when they came out. They faced different things when they came out at the time. So they had to grow over the years. They're still seen as much older characters than characters like Iron Man and Captain America. There's almost like a 40-year difference on them, 30, 40 years. Sorry, more like a 30 years. But Captain America had he's a little different. But the way we look at Cap, obviously, the first Avenger, it addressed him in that time period. The only way you're going to get a 1930s Captain America is put him in World War II.
Yes.
The same thing's going to happen if you have a 1930s. Like if you want original Batman, well, then we got to go to the 30s. That's what they did in the Bruce Timm thing. They made it pseudo noir. You have to. They had to take elements of the era.
Detective Comics, boom, Batman. Let's bring it that detective feel.
Right.
It's all about like just looking like what are the themes of this character? What are the core themes, and how can you play around with those?
Right. So as a result, if you want them in that era, you got to put them in that era. If not, and you want them modern day, then you're going to have to do things that you have to give them things they have to combat that happen nowadays. You have to put them in that era. And that doesn't mean to go completely Nolan on it, where you're just missing elements of the character. As far as I'm concerned, Batman's never, ever, ever going to be a realistic character. Let's just start at the fact that you can't fight crime all the time with the freaking cape on. Like, even fight crime without guns? Are you kidding? Like, let's just look at that alone. All right, like don't even bother looking at the whole superhero aspect of flying around and all that stuff. Let's look at the fact that it's one dude trying to take on crime for years with a cape and gadgets and no guns. Like that's fantasy.
The only people I can trust are my butler and a teenage boy.
Oh my God! The Robin. Like look at Robin in general.
The concept of Robin, I mean, come on. Like, yeah, there's a reason why he's not in the Nolan movies. They're not gonna make that work.
Right. And that's fine, but if you want to have Batman, like you use Batman. He has a villain called Clayface who can shapeshift. He has Poison Ivy who controls plants with her mind. We have Mr. Freeze that can somehow live in sub-zero temperatures and is comfy. I mean, we could go on for a while. We have a Mad Hatter, a guy that can control people's minds with pretty much a toy hat. Killer Croc, a guy that's half crocodile, half wrestler.
He's a goddamn lizard man who wears pants. Like, he's
But hey, if there was like a fourth Nolan film, it'd probably be some guy with a bunch of tattoos of lizards or something. Like, he'd be high on PCP, just like punching guys out thinking he's like fighting alligators. I don't know. Like that's like when I was thinking about like, what happened if Christopher Nolan made a Superman movie, like Superman would just be this guy on PCP who thinks he can fly. And it's like, ugh. So you have to dispel this notion that that Batman is a character that's believable. He's not. He'll never be. He is the absolute best we can be as humans, physically and mentally, but we can never reach it. It's just to show our potential as humans. That's why he's so interesting. That's why he's more relatable than Superman, because he's a human. But he's also a human we can never become, but we can aspire to be like him. That's why he is so fascinating to follow.
It's that fantasy, like being met with such tragedy and like taking control. It's like he says it, and again, it's straight out of the comic book. I don't know how like this movie is just a travesty. It's an insult to anyone who's even looked at a comic book.
Oh my God, yes, all those kind of comments.
Just okay, but like the world only makes sense when you force it to, straight out of the comic, and that speaks volumes about the character.
Yep.
And that's why we want to be Batman. We want to take control. We want to force the world to make sense.
Yep, that's him. Definitely, that's him. So that being said, what are your thoughts on Suicide Squad coming out? Excited?
I have some reservations. I'm mostly concerned about Harley Quinn, because Harley Quinn was designed by Bruce Timm for the 90s cartoon, and that's where she works best. And it's very hard to do her character without making her too annoying, making her too like helpless, because the Suicide Squad version of Harley's a little different than the Bruce Timm version. Her origins, Joker like dips her in
like a badass. That's a little bit much, too, by the way.
It is. It is
a bit much.
it completely removes her agency. Like her, the whole point of her character is that she is seduced by the devil, but she genuinely cares for the Joker. She fall, you know, it's her own thing. She was a doctor at Arkham Asylum
Yep.
that just decided, you know, just decided to join the club. You know, that's Harley Quinn. So I'm kind of shaky on how they're handling her character and Jared Leto's Joker. I think he's a fine actor. He'll do a memorable Joker, but I wonder how patient I can be with this Joker. I think he's gonna wear thin on my patience with the grills, the face tattoos. I just don't. This movie has the odds stacked against it, and I think that's the point. That's kind of what the fun of it. These characters have the odds to get that they're the worst heroes ever. This movie should not work, but I'm hoping that it does. The trailer, it's got the Queen music in it. It looks pretty visually crazy. I think I like this wacky, dark DC universe. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Yeah, I don't want to be too down about it, but how do you feel about it?
Cautiously optimistic. Because this happens a lot when it comes to superhero films. We'll get a weird looking thing that we don't quite understand, but then when we see it in context, we're gonna like it a lot. I don't know the angle they have with the Joker. However, aside from the grills and the damage tattoo, I like his design. If they pretty much just got rid of the Jaws teeth and the damaged tattoo on his forehead. However, hey, we don't know the context of that. I mean,
Right.
We don't. So I'm okay with that. I can live with that because again, we can't judge a book by its cover. And it's funny because I say that a lot when it comes to superhero castings, but then someone always goes, "Yeah, because Heath Ledger was awesome." No.
No. People, history, people, history. Like people did not want Heath Ledger to be the Joker. People did not want Michael Keaton to be Batman. Like people are proven wrong again and again. They just want to go into it hating it, and they're proven so wrong. They eat their fucking words every time.
Yeah, and because Keaton up until recently was my favorite Batman. I mean, I have to give this to Ben Affleck. I mean, if favorite is most faithful by design, by how he acted, that's my judge for my favorite Batman.
He's as believable as Batman could possibly be. I mean,
perfect.
Like we've talked about how unbelievable he is as a character, but when you see him just getting so pissed about Superman and lifting those fucking weights and just you can see the rage, the focus, just like yes, this is Batman. This Batman makes the most sense.
Oh yeah. I agree with you there. It is one of the reasons I was really excited for this film. Before I saw it, I kept thinking to myself, dude, he looks perfect. And I said to people, even if this movie sucked, I knew Ben would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully the movie didn't suck. It was a great movie, excellent movie. And I challenge any person who I have talked to recently or anyone out there, just give me some points that prove that this movie is not good. I know you brought up a challenge if you want to lay that down.
Yes. So like if you've seen the movie and you hated it, like I promise you, see it a second time and you will see you might see it in a different light. And if this is not the case, if you hate it even more or the same, I will reimburse you. I will send you a gift card, okay? I will send you a gift. You will be reimbursed for what you spent on the ticket. But you gotta come to us and you gotta talk to us. You gotta make points that make sense. These softball, minute complaints like, oh, but Gotham can't be next to Metropolis. These two fictional cities. I can't believe they would do that.
Right.
Like wow, that's insulting. That is, and we read comic books. We care about it getting important details right. That is not an important detail. You're
Oh.
focusing on the wrong thing.
No, the yeah, right. That's right. Like little things that don't really matter. Now, if we had like if Batman like didn't have like his mask was like completely armored with no ear tips and his mouth was completely armored and stuff like that, and like he just didn't look like Batman. Okay, that's a problem. Like that's a problem. Because oh look, but his mouthpiece should be covered because it's functional. All right, screw function. I want to look at Batman. That's a problem. Like that would be a real problem. Even his fully armored suit still had a hole for his mouth. Like
I don't. Batman should have looked more like Iron Man.
I know. Like just make Iron Man. So like, if they did that, I would be pretty agitated. But they didn't. So I don't care that Gotham is next to Metropolis. That's something that's hardly mentioned ever in the comics. Most comic fans, if you ask them relative location of either city, they're like, "What? I don't know," because it's not a factor. It's not important. So, but yeah, the problems I always hear are those things. And then there's okay, hold on. Liana says there's too many plot holes that muddle the story. I am very curious to see what plot holes you're talking about. I would love for you. I'm not being like because I'm like aggressive at it. I'm just curious.
Plot lines muddled the story. So again, it's the crowdedness of this movie, the fact that it is establishing this whole expanded universe in just one movie, whereas it just kind of organically, like the Avengers was the organic conclusion to Phase 1. It was the conclusion of but you know, this, it's kind of going in reverse, kind of like boom, we're coming out, we're putting all these characters out there, and then we're coming out with their own movies. So yes, it is. It makes the film a little crowded. If it would, the story would have flowed better. It would have felt less disjointed if it focused on just the Trinity and just teased us for that Justice League stuff. But you know what? It still worked. It's still, like, I can say, like yeah, the pacing was a little off. Again, this was a 3-hour movie, and a half hour of it was removed. Barbara Gordon was originally in the movie. Batgirl, like she's in the movie. We never see her. She's just in the director's cut. So we're gonna find out more. But again, these are problems that no one seemed to care about in Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, just 9 minutes shorter. You know, 2.5 hours is way too fucking long, but 2 hours and 21 minutes. I mean, that's a good movie. I could go on about just how disappointing Age of Ultron is. It is.
I have a great theory. It just got sent to me by my friend on Facebook, Chris. I just read what he said. He said that he heard a theory that that Leto's Joker might actually be Robin, and instead of killing Robin, he kidnapped him and tortured him and made Batman think he was dead, essentially breaking him, and then eventually became the next Joker when Batman snapped and killed the original. So apparently he killed the original Joker. That's a theory. He says, first I thought I shook it off and thought it was mildly interesting, but, and I right when I read this, I thought about the same line too. He said Batman at one point said, you know,
how many stayed that way?
How many stayed that way? That might be what this is.
That made me think of Joker and also Red Hood, so I can kind of see how they could combine the two, like, you know, and work something out. No, that's exactly, I was thinking the same thing. Like,
I prefer Red Hood. Like, I always want Joker to be Joker, but I would gel with that too. Yeah. I could gel with a Jason Todd. I wonder if there is going to be a Robin. I wonder if they only had one Robin and he got.
I heard rumors because, you know, they were going the Dark Knight Returns route. It's like, was there going to be a female Robin? And I would love to see, like, because I just love her design in that comic with her glasses and her hair. Like, that is just like, wow. Like, I could just go on how much I love that story. It's just one of the greatest Batman stories ever told. And you got to watch the animated version. If you're a fan, you know, if you dug this, you definitely got to check out, you know, what inspired it. You got to check out this story. You got but I digress. Yeah, I would absolutely, I would contend that the Under the Red Hood movie is just one of the strongest Batman movies in general.
I agree.
And
it's great.
I would love them just to try to do that live action. Yeah, no, that movie is leaps and bounds above the Nolan films.
I agree.
It has the darkness, it has that emotion. It does it just so much better with the arcs. It works so much. It's so much more satisfying on a narrative level.
Right, because with the Nolan films, I think they kind of wanted to take the easy route of sticking like so much to realism because they knew that would sell to average people more than diving into the Batman mythos and trusting the mythos a bit more. They stuck to what if Batman was real approach, and I think that's why people revere it so much because it's like, whoa, I could be Batman, as opposed to let's see the mythos of Batman. Like, let's see more of his world. That's what kind of bugged me.
Yeah. This, and again, the mythos is the thing that I felt this movie got right. This felt like was treating. People say that comic books are modern day myths. There are legends. This felt like it was treating them that way. That this was a parable. That we can see parallels with our own world, like with these characters. It worked. It was operatic.
Hey, your microphone just cut out perfectly because it was like I was like, yeah, nailed it.
Yes, it's an operatic movie. It's poppy. To say that there's no fun, that there's no joy in this movie is false. It's absolutely false. You do not get a kick out of Batman smashing a sink over Superman's head.
Yeah.
You don't get a kick at, Lex Luthor just putting a jar of piss in front of a senator, just making her look at it. Like, that is she just like, yep. Oh my God. Yes, there is so much fun in this movie. You're willfully ignoring it.
Yeah. Call it 33%. Like, no, not at all. I think that we are looking at one of the great comic book movies, and I hope that in the future it is seen as such. Like, right. It gets the reputation it so deserves, and the next movies, hopefully, if they do still happen, because I read recently that while it had a very strong opening, it also had the fastest drop off past the first 2 days, in ever since Fantastic Four, which apparently had a lukewarm opening, and then no one came after that. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little worried about that apparently sales have plummeted after the opening weekend, which is not fair to this movie.
Right.
It's not.
It really, and the only thing, again, it's positive word of mouth. Everyone that I've talked to and everyone that I've seen the movie with, and we've seen it 3 times. I've seen it with different groups. Everyone likes it. At the very least, this is not like an abhorrent movie. Like I said, this is not Dragon Ball Evolution. This is like, right. People act like it's just pissed over everything we loved, and I just disagree vehemently with that. This movie captured what I love about Batman, and I grew up watching the Justice League cartoon. You cannot tell me that I don't like comic books, that I do not read them. I pay attention to these things. I've seen all of these goddamn comic book movies, and I will be the first to say this felt much more iconic than any Marvel movie I've seen in recent memory. This, what it reminded me of? And again, a lot of people forget about this one. The one of my favorite Marvel movies, Edward Norton's Hulk movie.
Oh man. Yes.
That whole climax with Abomination is just really hits the spot for me. And I got the same vibes with this. I was like, this, the way I felt about that Hulk movie, I said, this does the Hulk right. This is a movie that can be as good as a Hulk movie can be. And I watched this, and I'm just like, this is as good as a Batman v Superman movie should be. This delivers on everything it promised. I'm with it. I like the imagery, the design, just everything clicked for me.
Oh, yeah. And it would be, we as comic book fans would be denied an amazing amazing universe that it would be denied us because of this stupid negative hype train of people that didn't watch the movie, or they walked in with extremely low expectations and they wanted reasons to complain and hate the movie. Like when I walked in to see Star Wars, damn it, I wanted to see a great Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
Right. I was so excited to see it again. I want to see Luke Skywalker again. I wanted to see the universe treated properly. I had my problems with the prequels, but I heard what Lucas said, George, when he's talking about that he said, he saw the movie and said, I think the fans would like this. And I was like, I didn't know what he meant by that. And then I watched the movie and it was like, oh my God, it makes sense. Like,
it felt like
sense.
fans made
It
that
was
movie.
Fan service. The movie was just a bunch of blatant fan service. It was that, and it was just a bunch of like just trailer stuff for the next movie. People say that about this movie, which is not fair because there's so much this movie accomplishes. This movie accomplishes things. The Star Wars, almost nothing is accomplished. Even the battle, the villain just whisked away, and you're explained like it's explained to you that the villain wasn't even at his best. He wasn't even fully trained. Then where's the stakes? What was accomplished?
Yeah, no, nothing
Dude,
about the world has changed. Nothing about these
they blew
nothing
the
about
planet.
these characters have changed. Like
No one changed.
You just watched just a very soft ball, just something to ease you back into the Star Wars you already know and love with very little changes. And it was just it was a lukewarm film. It was just passable. It did some nice things, but it wasn't enough to compensate the feeling of deja vu. And we've been there, done that. I did not feel that once during Batman versus Superman.
No, I was on the edge of my seat.
This felt like it was going for it. Whether you disagree, if you just like Batman cannot be this way, Superman cannot be this way, despite those preconceptions, like you gotta admit that it went for it. It tried something new, and there is merit in that alone. And but on top of that, I just don't think it was a bad movie at all. Like when I say it like that, just like, no, it was different. You have to like it. You can try something new and fail. I think this movie tried something new and mostly succeeded. Okay.
Yeah, our friend Liana is heading out. She had a lot of great questions today. She said she needs sleep for work. She's at works a movie theater. That's kind of cool. She says, see you guys. So, thanks for chiming in. We really appreciate the questions you gave us and your comments.
Yeah.
And we'll hope you'll tune in for another podcast. If you guys liked it, we can do some more podcasts and other topics. We'd love to do it.
Yeah.
We can pick apart some movies both you and I find criminal, and just pick them apart like we did Spider-Man.
Yeah, and we'll do new movies too. Shit, we'll watch Civil War. We'll watch the new damn X-Men. As much as we're like not looking forward to them.
Not looking forward to X-Men, but I will see it with open mind. It's like this one. Hey, I wasn't too excited for it. I didn't like Man of Steel that much, but I walked in. There's this thing. I'm pretty sure you feel this way too. We want to enjoy what we're watching. Like,
yeah, it's not, no one's making you watch the movie, like I think the complaint about it's 2.5 hours. It's such a moot point. Like, when did watching movies become a chore? You paid
obligated.
You paid for the ticket. Go in there with the best of intentions. You do not want to feel like you wasted 2 hours of your life. I watched SpongeBob SquarePants Sponge Out of Water 3D with the best of intentions, certified fresh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I love SpongeBob. I love this sponge. I can't wait to be reunited with SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, all my favorite Wonder characters. And that movie sucked ass. I did not laugh. It was absolutely horrible, and the marketing was misleading. The whole I could go. I gotta. Well, that'll be something. We'll talk about Sponge Out of Water another time. That was just a god awful experience. But I wanted so badly to be whisked away to Bikini Bottom, and I just wanted to enjoy watching SpongeBob. But that was just a morally bankrupt film. Whoever wrote that film, I mean, they need no. I'm sorry, Sponge Out of Water, it belongs in jail. It's bad. It's fucking bad. That was bad. That deserves 33%. this was a good movie. This felt like, yes, this is why I go to the movies.
Right.
It's the reason why we're gonna see it for a fourth time. I want to live in this movie. I just have such a good time when I'm watching it, when I'm listening to it. This is a good time.
Without a doubt. Because like, hey, you and we went to a specific movie around the time that Force Awakens came out, and we had a ball going to see a particular movie with a couple of rodent creatures in it.
Oh no, you mean I can't believe that. Yeah, they finally continued the classic trilogy, the film that we were all looking for.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, the road.
Alva! Episode 4, Road Chip. Okay.
Yeah.
A new chip.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, man. You guys missed it. I think maybe. How about this? If you guys are interested, we went on opening night with some friends, and we watched Alvin and the Chipmunks #4, and we had a wonderful time in a very special version of the film that I think was just a glitch that happened just to our specific viewing on opening night. So I'm going to quickly bring out what happened as a little teaser for next one. We're going to get back to Batman vs Superman. So as you were watching this, for some reason, first off, when we went in the theater, like Keith was a little late, and so he was like, "Hey, save me a seat." And so I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I walk in there, I look around the corner, it's empty, no one's there. Opening night, 11 o'clock, not a soul is in the building. So I look at my friends and I'm like, I think we can save him a seat. And so I go in there, I look up. Yes, Earl was in the road shit, by the way. John asked if he was in it. Yes, he was. So I noticed immediately during the previews that the top left corner of the screen, there's just a big black smudge. It never went away. It just big black smudge, just for our viewing pleasure. It's big black mark on the screen. So, Keith, I think you might be able to explain a little better. What happened in the middle of the movie again? A little glitch happened.
So, like, people don't realize they don't use film reels in many theaters anymore. It's all digital. They literally just they get the rights and they torrent the movies. They actually just download the movies and just brought to project them on the theater. So yeah, there were several moments throughout this film where the movie froze for half a second. It stuttered, like it was buffering, like the movie that we're watching on the big screen was just like like it was like YouTube poop. It was like something out of Tim and Eric. This happened at least 3 times.
I counted 5 total.
At least that's what I'm being conservative.
Yep, you are. It happened 5 times. The movie had glitched, like it was buffering, like it was just like it'd be like, we gotta get back over to Alvin's house.
Yeah,
it's just like by the 3rd time, I was kicking and like I couldn't breathe anymore. With tears just rolling down my cheeks.
That was magical. See, that movie was insane enough that even if that didn't happen, we still would have laughed and had a great time. But that just sent it over the edge. It was completely unexpected. And the moral of the story is, no matter how bad you think the movie's gonna be, no matter what Rotten Tomatoes says, go see anything with an open mind. With the best of it, and you might enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah, yep. It was a wonderful time. So, anyways, Batman. We got a question from Jeff Henson here. He wondered what we didn't like about Batman versus Superman. I'll have you start. I think we talked a little bit about this before, so let's just kind of sum up.
Gary, I just want to say yes, Gary. They don't literally BitTorrent the movies. They just they download it. It's digital means. That's just how I digitally get my movies.
Fuck. Yeah. So, that being said, what would you say about the things you didn't like about the movie?
Things I didn't like about the movie. All right, we're not Road Chip, right? We're talking about BVS. So Batman, other than what I've stated, and again, this is something we anticipated from the get-go. Warner Brothers putting the screws to Zack Snyder. We really gotta rush. We gotta establish this Justice League universe. To me, that sort of took away from the focus of between Batman and Superman and Lex, like and Wonder Woman. Sure, like that's a minor gripe. Like I said, the vision in the middle of the movie could have been integrated better with the story. There are this, but again, it wasn't a deal breaker for me. I'm trying to think of anything else. There were definitely the scenes where the script just takes shortcuts. That whole thing with Lex writing the notes on the checks. You let your family die. What do they say? Why haven't I seen it?
We'll look into it.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
That was pretty weak.
We'll get to yes. That is, I mean, again, this is hardly unique to this movie. You'll find lines like that in every other movie, okay? If you're looking for them, yes. That is a moment where the script takes a shortcut. Yes, it is a very good point that he hadn't seen those before, and they didn't really give us a good explanation. All right, yes. But it's just a means to an end. Like the point is that's Lex's plan. Whether Batman could have been better prepared for it or not is kind of beside the point. It happened, and I thought any of the times the script stumbled, it really picked itself back up. I was never bored throughout the 2.5 hour duration. I was always interested, engaged. The imagery, I struggle to find many. I didn't find any deal breakers. I think all these issues considered, I would still give it like a solid 8.5 at least. And every time I see this movie, I like it a little bit more. And I just, I don't know. I don't know what you have to say about if you had any complaints.
Let's see. I felt that the dream sequence that Clark had with his dad was a bit it could have been explained a little better. I'm okay with the Batman dreams because he's a paranoid dude that doesn't get a lot of sleep, so that's whatever.
Just seeing Pa Kent on top of the mountain stacking rocks was kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, if that is the one moment in the movie that if you have not seen Man of Steel, you will be completely lost on.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie with people who haven't seen Man of Steel, or just listen, all you gotta know, General Zod, Superman's fighting this other Kryptonian. They destroy half the fucking city, and that's what this opens up with. Batman sees that from the ground, and he really has it out for Superman. But Pa Kent talking. I mean, I thought the content of what he said, and people complain about this. Pa Kent says some nonsensical story about them saving the farm and blah, blah, blah. All this drivel didn't really mean anything. It did. I don't know if you were listening.
Oh, it was, yeah.
It was totally relating to the story, but the actual how they went about that dream itself, just him standing on top of the mountain, it was a little silly.
Yeah, the speech was great. I like that.
Did I see how you doing there, Chris?
So, let's see. Aside from that, what are the things I may have not liked? The beginning, I was a little uneasy because I saw 3 different storylines going at the same time, so I was getting a little bit worried about that going on. Let's see what else I didn't like.
Chris brought up an excellent point. I mean, I did not mind the whole Martha bit, but everything from that point forward, Batman was just kind of I do think that whole comparison with Step Brothers is kind of accurate. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Batman is immediately just hey, I made you a promise. I'm gonna save your mom. I'm a friend of your son's. They really, I mean, there was no time to waste. There really was no extra time in the third act to develop that relationship between Clark and Bruce, so I can forgive it for that. But sure, if you look at the movie, it is, I guess, just a little bit jarring how well they hit it off immediately after that fight. Just
right.
Yeah. Sure.
A little bit weird, I guess. Again, I think it had more to do with the fact that Batman was internalizing what happened, and I think that he wanted Clark in a position, because don't forget he's paranoid. If I were him, I would have finished the fight first. I would have had Superman at the edge of a spear, and then make my mind up, because he's too dangerous to think to just stand there and try to just hope he's not lying to you. He's been betrayed constantly. So the only time he would have to really debate if Superman's a threat or not is when he's at the edge of a sphere. And through the fight and through thinking about it all, when he realized he was being played, and he realized the one thing that Superman was caring about, he was not begging for his life. He was talking about his mother's life. And I think that finalized Batman's assessment of Superman, which is why it seems sudden. But this was something he was figuring out as the fight was going on. He planned all that stuff. It seemed intense and whatnot, but this is something he choreographed in his head. Like he plans this stuff out. He is a master tactician. I wish there was a way we could read like the thought bubbles and stuff, but I would have been, if there's like a comic of it, I bet that's what they would do. You would see him assessing Superman, especially before the fight, thinking about things, but he probably would come to the conclusion of, well, if he shows up, I have to take him down first, and then I can assess if he's a threat or not. So at that point, his mind he's already thought about what options he has, because we all know this about Batman. He is the world's greatest detective. So he didn't really need much to tell if Clark was a good person or not. But he had to unleash all of his force, then show and push back to him that even this godly being can bleed. That was one of the things at the minimum. Even if he didn't want to kill him, he needed to show that he was weak to some degree. And if only one man, even if he was an exceptional man, if one man can bring him so close to death, even in a situation where Superman didn't want blood, if one man can accomplish this, it might make Superman think twice the next time he wants to try something. What's the point of a deterrent if Superman doesn't know you have it?
Right. Yeah, it's I was just reading the comments right now. I was just getting sidetracked reading those, but
sure.
Yeah, it's his Batman's plan, it makes sense. I don't understand why you can't just trust that he thought of this shit through. People want all of this information spoon-fed to them. We need the scene where like Batman's talking with Alfred, just like, Alfred, I've planned the gun turrets here, and like, I think if Superman, people need all of those motivations spoon-fed to them. It's not good enough that we see these characters, their dreams, we see their feelings. We just need it spelled out for us, or else we're gonna be confused.
It's like video games and tutorials,
right? Mega Man.
It seriously is. Like, oh, we just had to everything spelled out for us. Right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Again, it's hand holding, and Disney is good at hand holding. The Force Awakens, it's a pretty good kids movie. It is. You watch. It's simple. You follow along. There's just not much to consider. There's no like character development. There's not much at stake. It's just like, those are the bad guys. These things blow up. Look, a lightsaber. Look, the bad guy ran away. The end. Episode 8. Like, it's just, it's a light affair. There's a lot of contemplation. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It just doesn't mean it's there. It's all there. It's all there if you're willing to look for it. Christ.
So we got a lot accomplished today. I can still talk for a good amount here. We got a nice, healthy amount of people coming here. He says, hold on. Oh, yeah, Gary's got a great question. Okay. I wonder if you'll have the same answer I will. So Gary says, if you could add one member to the new Justice League lineup, the movie one, that was not shown so far, who would it be? I'll start with you. I might have the same answer you will.
It's really tough for me because I'm inclined to say Martian Manhunter because I mean I want to see Zack Snyder's vision of Martian Manhunter. I think he handles like the intensity of these alien beings very well. However, I am really curious if they're gonna incorporate Arrow into the show, the Green Arrow. That would be my second choice because it's a little confusing. They have the Flash TV show going on right now. They're doing a totally different Flash for the movie, and I wonder if if they're gonna have Green Arrow down the road, how they're going to incorporate him with Batman and Superman. I'm like kind of I think if they worked out something interesting, he could be better than Hawkeye sucks. The Avengers the movie Hawkeye sucks.
Yeah.
What do those characters do? What do they do? Crowd control.
Right, they really do. So I would probably say if I were to pick Martian Manhunter, he's not my top choice, but if I were to use Martian Manhunter, it would be because even though he's an alien, he really is the heart of the team, especially in the animated series. He was the heart of the team. He would bring a depth of character to the Justice League that would really it would be very interesting.
He was like their Mr. Spock. He just a total. He's even more of an outsider. There are like cosmic beings in Justice League, but he is like so different. His powers, his struggles are just so his own, and like he gives the League like another layer of perspective. It really, I feel like he adds a whole nother layer of depth to the squad.
What's also good too is you notice with the Martian Manhunter that since he lost his people and lost everything, the Justice League is really his new home, and that's what was so interesting about him. That's why he was it felt like the heart of the team. That was his new home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while I would really like him on board, I think that the Justice League would be complete. I could go without him, even though I find him probably the most compelling character. As a comic fan, the most important one that's not important, like to complete the mosaic of the Justice League, Green Lantern. Like we're gonna need Green Lantern.
Right.
Just is a must. We're gonna need him.
Right. Yeah, no. Do you feel which version? I mean, I'm feeling John Stewart. I mean, I'm feeling like that's. I mean, do you think they should stick with Hal? Do you think? I mean, what would you be your preferred direction with Green Lantern? Considering the only thing we have is that goddamn Ryan Reynolds movie.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It really wasn't. It felt like a made-for-TV movie. It just kind of. It was more. It just didn't go far enough. But the imagination was there. The aliens, the whole idea of the core. It had merit to it. Okay, it was halfway there. It just didn't really like. Parallax was just not executed well.
No,
it just needed a villain to match it. I mean, it got me looking forward to Sinestro. You know, I thought they did that character very well, and it ends with you looking forward to yes, villain. Yeah, this is the Sinestro we're looking at. Yes, no, I agree because with Green Lantern it comes Sinestro, and I think he is a. I mean, come on, like he is up there. Like I think of Sinestro, Brainiac, Lex. I can't wait for Legion of Doom, man. Well, I'm more excited for Legion of Doom, to be honest, man. We've got a lot of Justice League guys. I'm excited for Black fucking Manta,
Yeah. So Gary says, do you think Robin will show up eventually? I think so. I think we're gonna get a Robin of some kind.
He's at least gonna show up in he's at least going to show up. I imagine because Ben Affleck will be doing his own Batman movie. What's to stop them from doing a prequel? Let's find out how that Robin suit got scorched. Let's see they're definitely sowing those seeds. It's definitely Robin exists in this universe. We just don't know when he's gonna show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. Robin, I think he'll eventually show up because we've been waiting way too long on a good Robin. Like he's not. I don't know. We've had the one in Batman Forever. That wasn't too bad. It probably won't be a kid. That goes without saying. It'll be difficult to find a kid.
Right.
So, aside from that, yeah. Let's see what other questions we got. Let's see what we got over here. So it says, why do you think they decided to recast the role of the Flash with Ezra Miller? Well, here's my question. Not a question. Here's what. Initially, I thought it'd be easier to just use the guys from the TV show, but then after like watching this movie, it's clearly a different universe.
Yeah.
Snyder Universe just will not work with the TV universe. In fact, I think DC Comics TV stuff, that's actually a little too goofy in my opinion. Not a bad thing. It's just way too goofy for Snyder.
It works for TV, but for like this, they want to give us like this cinematic event. They want to give us something that stands out from Marvel, and they got the TV thing. I mean, Arrow and the Flash are immensely popular shows. It seems like Supergirl is also getting up there too. Like, you know, that's great. They can have that thing, but it just doesn't work as the focus. It's just not as intensely focused as this Zack Snyder movie. And again, you know, people want to fucking laugh at that. You know, oh, Zack Snyder's what an inept storyteller. It's like, I did you see the movie? Did you see the movie? Like, were those shots not amazing? Like, I love the imagery. It felt like I was looking at comic book panels. That whole Bruce Wayne opening credits, like you know, we were just gazing. We were like, damn, the font.
Oh, that font so
This was a stately affair. I'm just like, damn, they really elegantly wrapped up this whole, you know, Batman origin. The music that it sets the
soundtrack. Holy crap!
Oh my god, it could go on. Zimmer and Junkie XL, like it was riveting. Every character had their own theme, just a simple riff with Superman, boom boom boom, just the somber piano, Lex, ba bum ba, Wonder Woman,
I heard a rumor that apparently the Lex theme are the notes for the Superman theme, but in reverse order or something.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
but I don't doubt it, because that there's just something about it that's just so sinister. It just crawls in your ear. There's something like unnatural about that melody. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah,
bum, bum. It's
awesome.
Yeah, no, and yeah, the themes for the characters, they just flowed seamlessly in one into the other, and yeah, from a design standpoint, this movie really knocked it out of the park for me. I really got to put people to task for that. Like, people are gonna say that it was ugly, didn't make any sense. I ate it up. I really just absorbed every bit of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Let's see what else they got going on here. I don't know. People are saying they're not sure, but let's see.
Yeah, there's
I can't really tell. I can't really judge these new casting choices yet. Like, it's tough to say. People didn't like Gal Gadot or Gadot. Is it Gadot? I think Gadot.
I think I don't know what it.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I thought she was still too scrawny to be Wonder Woman, but man, when she showed up and did her thing, I'm fine with her.
And again, it's cool.
She looks Greek. I know she's not, but she looks Greek, which I really like.
Well, it's close. She's Israeli, which, you know, it is like from that. She has a bit of an accent too. Like, she feels, she is a little bit more ethnic, and I think that's something that the internet loves this shit. They eat up, you know, diverse casts, and in this movie they establish, just like, look, man, we got Cyborg, we got a black guy, we got an Israeli lady, we got a Jewish Flash, we got a Pacific Islander Aquaman. Like, we got some variety, in ethnicity, in their powers, in just it is something a little different. I don't know why people are so quick to dismiss that.
Yeah. So, but that being said, yeah, I was thoroughly happy with her. I mean, usually I can find major faults in movies that I watched, and we both seen it 3 different times. 2 of the times we went together. Um, it's tough to find much at fault with the movie that like things worth caring about. Like that's what I mean. Like things worth caring about. Batman being brutal is part of the narrative.
Right.
Like that's fine. That's why I don't have a problem with it. He's brutal. So what? In fact, I would say the Keaton Batman was more brutal than this one.
You want to get nuts?
That's good. And then so friend Colin, he reminded me about Batman Returns where he put a bomb on a dude's chest. That's brutal. That is brutal. Like just blew him up. Oh well, okay. She can't say the bomb killed him. You put it on his chest.
Michael Keaton was just nasty. No, I would argue he was more villainous. He was just like
he smiled too.
He smiled. This is Batman. Yeah, Michael Keaton Batman just like, yeah, you eat shit, you asshole. Like, this Batman just kills motherfuckers because he feels he has to.
In a way.
Right. He doesn't. When I say that, he's not even just killing them. Like that is such a misnomer. That is like he is not indiscriminately killing. These people are pulling guns on him. He's.
He'll fight back, but he'll never try to directly kill them.
And again, in that final scene, in Lex, he uses that disruptor straight out of the Arkham games. He disables their guns and just beats the shit out of them hand to hand. Might have broke some sternums, some collarbones, some necks in the process.
Oh yeah,
sure, yeah, like suplexing a dude into a concrete floor, like that is gonna fuck him up. But again, like if you look at how Batman beats up thugs in the past. Like, he's killing dudes all the time. There's no way people are walking away from this. They're gonna be in a fucking wheelchair. You should have killed him, Batman. You ruined their lives.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to eat through a tube.
But they're not dead. Maybe that's what's so twisted. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to kill them. Because it's better to leave them alive and crippled.
Yeah, so you can be in pain like me.
Holy shit. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's sometimes it makes more sense to kill him.
Right. No, speaking of which, I was telling you this earlier. In the comics, like Batman has done some brutal kills. One of them, there was a deformed mutant guy, and he was still like human though. He was just some evil guy, like experimenting on him, right? Mm-hmm. So he takes the Batwing, and with Robin in the cockpit with him, wraps a rope around his neck. And then begins to fly and hangs him, killing him, and then saying to Robin, he's better off this way. Holy shit. Just executes him like that. That's Golden Age Batman right there. He's done ones where he'll like jump in on some guy who's like leaning forward, hit him on the neck just to break his neck just like that by dropping his foot on him. Or in the 70s, how he quote unquote accidentally threw someone into a compactor. Just threw him in. Oh well, okay. I guess that's settled. Like there has been some brutal like kills he has been responsible for.
Batman has killed plenty times. There's more than one version of these characters, people.
And even there's a lot of Bruce Wayne ones that are out there. There was a multiverse storyline where Jason Todd got to meet a version of Batman that got vengeful. And I mean, like, he would just kill villains. And in that universe, it was like a utopia. And that was the one that Jason Todd got to be best buddies with. Unfortunately, it was one that Superboy, or now Superman Prime, not the 1 million one, but the crazy one, blew that continuity up. But holy shit, Batman has wasted some people. Like he's just wasted some people. So to say that he has a strict no kill policy, every version every version of Batman pretty much is, if you, it's just how you look at it. People die all the time in Batman movies. I mean, even Batman comics. Batman even rationalized one time. He said, if I keep sending the Joker away, when does it become my fault that he's out killing people? When is it my responsibility to kill? There's so many ways to look at it. Or how about this? Hey, Gordon, can you blow up that train or the train tracks ahead of me? Can you blow them up? And then I'm gonna leave this guy in the thing here. Dude, he made Gordon an accomplice to a murder he plotted out. That's murder.
What if like a bit of the train just goes flying through somebody's window and just like kills them? Like there is always collateral damage to the shit he's doing. Just because you're not seeing it, you're just not thinking about it.
Like, he had to drive through cars when he had the bat bike, and so he just started blowing cars up in front of him. How are you? He didn't even see if those people are in the cars or not. There's a bunch of parked cars blowing them all up left and right. We don't even know if anyone's inside of those. Maybe someone's taking a fucking nap, last nap of their life. Like, just okay, well, they're in the way. Like, Nolan's Batman's pretty brutal himself. Again, Talia al Ghul, a worthless character, by the way. But my God, how did she die? And by the way, one of the worst deaths ever on screen I've ever seen. But how did she die? Got shot with a freaking missile. He shot her with a missile. Like, now we have to look at the definition of like guns. Like, okay, I guess it's not a gun. It's still a missile. It's just that kind of stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Jeff says he asked if we agree that Jason Todd's Jared is the new Joker. I can't say I agree with it, but I can understand it. I hope it's not, but I can live with it. It's not a bad thing. I prefer it if it was Joker himself.
Yeah, no, I would love it if they've got Red Hood planned at some point. Like, I would prefer it if they just stuck Joker. He can be just the Joker. I would love if they do make reference to Jason Todd, though. It seems like, again, I trust Zack Snyder and company for looking at the comic books and just getting it right. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. Just like, shit, we'll just look at the Under the Red Hood and we'll make this, look at this animated movie. Like, this is good shit. We can use this, but no, it's too dark. It's too bad. Robin can't, that's not what Robin does. Comic book fans don't know what they want. Okay. There's the whole Jason Todd thing. The whole reason why he freaking died. It's because like DC's like, all right, you want this Robin or not? You want this Robin or not? Call the hotline. If we don't get enough, we're gonna kill him. You gotta.
Yeah. And more people want him to die. He was voted to die.
So again, it's but you know what? It was so much. The comic is better because Jason Todd was there to begin with, despite initial negative fan reaction. Just like, what are you doing with this new Robin? He's a dick. We don't like him. Aha. But we can use that. We can use this Robin that we do not like and turn it into a freaking great story. It is just,
Yeah, well, one thing to bear in mind, too, Jeff pointed out, he said that Jason Todd was tortured. And it would have made sense because his teeth would have been all pulled. And also, I think maybe the main Joker would have actually made that damage tattoo on his forehead. It wasn't his own choice to have it there.
That is, these are interesting. I would not put it past them. I would, but dude, that's why I'm very curious about Suicide Squad, because they got this director who normally does just intense R-rated crime movies like Street Kings with Keanu Reeves, and he did End of Watch. It's about these crooked cops. They brought this director who does all this just insanely just dark crime movies, and they just do a comic book movie. You got Killer Croc. You got Harley Quinn. It sounds insane. On paper, it seems like this movie will not work, but I that's kind of why I'm excited for it. I think there are going to be a lot of surprises in this movie, and I would not put the Jason Todd thing past it. That would be a surprise if the movie like sort of proved its worth as a comic book adaptation, as well as just being a crazy action movie, like I would be impressed.
Yeah. Part of what I was worried about Batman vs Superman, it seemed overcrowded, and I was worried. I was like, I don't know, and it ended up becoming one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. So it, I'm happy with what they're doing. I have faith in the DC Comics universe. It's just a case of if this negative hype train can give it a freaking rest, and people watch it for themselves and make their own opinions.
Yeah, John Rodak just pointed out something that I was actually just thinking about this earlier today, and it's like, a lot of people just hate pro wrestling, right? A lot of people just insist that it's fake, this isn't believable, blah, 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 blah. You're missing the beauty of pro wrestling when you focus on shit like that. And when you look at the scene of Batman and Superman just throwing each other through the walls, just doing all that shit, I got excited in a way. The only thing I can compare it to is like maybe pro wrestling. Like, this is insane. Like, what an amazing thing that we're watching. This is spectacle. These are larger than life characters duking it out, and I really, on that level, it was satisfying just from the action standpoint, but on top of that was a pretty compelling story. So yeah, I agree that like there is like to get the fun out of this movie, you got to be the guy that can give pro wrestling a chance. It may look weird and nonsensical, but just go with it. Like, you just, like, people are just so unwilling to just kind of see what the movie's going for. Just like, okay, I get it. I think I can understand this. People just want to stick, just shake their heads like, no, I don't want this. I don't want to understand this. I don't like this. And that's what we're raging. Again, keep bringing up, this movie is not Dragon Ball Evolution bad. And we both agreed that Green Lantern, although it wasn't that bad, this is a step up, This
So much better.
Yeah, Green Lantern, Nolan Batman movies. This is definitely feels like a significant step forward for DC adaptations. They really they fucking went for it. They again, we keep bringing it up. People's biggest complaint, there's a lot of plot lines going on at once. A lot of people just miss the fact there's so much going on that these nitpicks just seem all the more confusing. So like, you might miss the fact that at LexCorp he has his own software. There's LexCorp official there's official LexCorp operating systems, right? So like, when people see his MetaHuman folder and sees like the logos that he made, people react like, who made those logos? Who made those? Yes, clearly, yes. Lex is insane. He's very elaborate and convoluted. Of course. Why is it so outlandish that he got people in LexCorp to just, all right, this is Speedy Guy, and let's just drop a logo for a Speedy Guy,
Yeah.
Aquaman, it's the logos are a non-issue. That is a silly thing to zero in on.
Right. And if we're going to worry so much about little things like that, then guess what? Look, there's not much to worry about then. If that's what you're focusing on, then the movie's not that bad, because there could be a lot of real things with substance you're complaining about.
Right. Ugh. Yeah, that's what I do want to just continue to watch the movie and just talk about it, and just kind of like what we're saying makes sense. Like, we aren't ignoring huge faults in the movie. We are addressing the fact that there was room for improvement, but what we got was pretty impressive. I mean, it sucks. People just don't want different things. They want the same thing. They want Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Which, oh my God, if you say anything negative about that film, everyone's like, they're so roboticized. They're so mechanical that if you say anything that's an obvious problem with that movie, It's like they just automatically know exactly how to argue with you, even though their points are so paper thin. They know exactly how to how to yell at you, what to yell at you about, how to kind of gang up on you. Like there's nothing wrong with The Force Awakens because they're led to believe it. That's what's so agitating. They are led to believe that this movie is infallible, even though we have a character with no depth to her whatsoever. I guess she's the protagonist. No depth to her, no background, no tension, no reason for us to care at all.
Yeah. It's just, you just like, oh, I like her. She's cute. She's smiling. Look at her. She's kicking butt. And yeah, I like these people. I don't know why, but they seem nice. You're not actually invested in them as characters. There's no growth. There's just nothing that it's paint by numbers. It's safe. It's just it's comforting and familiar. It's just it's the bare minimum.
Yeah, and because since we still got people tuning in right now, and let's address the herd mentality by bringing up a little bit about the problems of Star Wars, and then we could kind of branch off into a different episode where you and I just address Star Wars.
Yes. We could do a whole episode just about Star Wars. Yes.
No kidding. I'm so glad that you saw those problems because I was so worried I was alone. I have so many friends that this is what they've wanted, and it's terrifying as a Star Wars fan. This is not what we asked for. Not anybody who sincerely liked Star Wars. We did not want this. Anyone who wants a genuine story, this is not what we want. We do not want. It's comical how much they lifted from the original three. Like people complained about George Lucas saying that the prequels rhymed. Well, let's look at this problem. You want to think the prequels copied from the originals? Hell, comparatively, no. They're like completely different film. So with this one, one of the best things that, and George brought this up, one of the things that his movies are very good at, which they was world building. And in this universe, with all the planets, you literally are building worlds. They're great at that. And in this one, they just basically recreate the same planets, call them different names. Like, I'll just screw the new names. We're going to address them as what they're trying to be. We start off on not Tatooine. Not Tatooine. They took out one of the two suns, and it's not Tatooine. Oh, it's Jakku now. We're then on I know we visit a Not Hoth a little bit, like a little ice stuff. We have not Yavin 4, the rebel base, because they're not called rebels anymore.
Right.
Yeah, the not Yavin 4.
Not the Empire. Not the
Empire versus
First Order, totally different.
Yeah. The First Order are totally different from the Sith. And we're on the not Death Star. And I love how after 30 years, both sides use the same technology because we don't want to stray too far. From the original trilogy, they're still using TIE fighters for some godforsaken reason. They're still using X-Wings for some weird reason. And then we have, my favorite parts. If you could just put, not on the beginning of so many nouns and explains the storyline. You had not Luke Skywalker watching not Obi-Wan Kenobi get killed by not Darth Vader on not the Death Star as he runs away before they blew up not the Death Star with not Luke Skywalker's X-Wing.
It was just not a true continuation. It was just biding time. It was just like it exists just to ease you back into that classic world. But I mean, like, come on, it doesn't make any sense. The Empire was overthrown. Why is there a resistance? Shouldn't they be in power? Where the hell? Like these are important things that need to be addressed. What the hell were those planets that got blown up?
Oh my God, it's the worst one. That is the worst one by far. Because I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, did they blow up Coruscant? That would be a moment of significance. That would be something worth noting. I said that in my little ad. It's like a 20-minute thing where we talked about it. That's something you could have gotten right. You could have had people going, oh my God, my family was on that planet, or oh my God, this was on that planet. As I was saying to you earlier, for all we know, that planet could have been like a gigantic, or those 5 planets could have been giant prison planets of nothing but death row inmates, and living on space tax
Just
dollars.
space rapists.
Yeah. Right, so spacists, and they're just living off the state or the Galactic Empire or the Galactic Republic, and just wasting tax dollars at being on the system. And you just did the galaxy a favor by saving money by blowing all 5 of them up. Maybe there was just routine maintenance. Maybe that was just you executing them. Maybe that's just a way to save everyone trouble. Like we don't know what the ramifications of those planets being blown up were. They're entire planets. Like you're doing the opposite of world building. You're blowing planets up and not saying what happened. Like, what?
You're giving us just the what and not the why. You're not like you're just focusing like kaboom, just like why did that matter? Just like who cares? No brakes on the Star Wars train. We got
and it wasn't even Coruscant. I thought it was Coruscant, and I went home and it was called Hosian Prime, which I love the name, because if it's a Hosian Prime, that means there's other Hosians. What the hell are Hosians? But whatever, let's ignore that.
Right. Yeah. We could really we gotta save it. We gotta just do a whole episode. We just gotta do a whole fucking episode.
Man. Like I would love to do that. If you guys are down, let's leave some messages. If you guys are down for us to do a Force Awakens episode,
get some Q&A stuff. Like we'll address, like just give us your points. Like tell us exactly why this was so great, and like we'll take everything into consideration. We'd love to have another guest on the show to give us another opinion. But like,
I do have one in mind. He might be listening tonight. If not, the gentleman Justin you spoke to earlier is a big defender of the Force Awakens, and for once, he does seem to have some points. And as a result, I like to have him on the show for that. That's just me thinking about it at the moment. He actually makes a case. Everyone else, no case whatsoever. I have heard nothing that has proven to me that this movie somehow can compete with The Empire Strikes Back. And I've heard people saying that it's maybe better than Empire. It's better than Return of the Jedi. It's better than New Hope. No way on earth.
Yeah.
No way. Impossible.
You want to, like, again, just show your mettle, just really just point something out that we're missing. Like say, like, don't just parrot something that everyone else has been saying. Like find meaning, find something in that movie that means something to you, and convey that to us, and I would love, I'll see Force Awakens again. It wasn't a terrible, it wasn't a bad movie. It just was underwhelming. Or just whelming. It was just average, just straight down the middle. It was fine. I watched it and I was like, it was pretty good, but I'll watch it again, see if I like it more or less the second time around, because that can change. Like I find myself watching, like I keep watching this Batman vs Superman, like it a little bit more each time.
I'll be going back too, man.
Yeah,
I'm pretty tied up this week, but I want to go like 5-6 times.
Yeah, it's just like, again, we're gonna see in D-Box, with the seats that shake. I want to see this movie in every way possible, because this is a theatrical experience. If there's something to see in theaters, you gotta go see Batman v Superman. I really felt like the production in Star Wars is very nice. I don't want to keep bringing it up, but like that's something I could have just like caught on TV, and before Episode 8 came out. I really just didn't feel like I gained anything. I could have just read a synopsis. Like, okay, I'll just wait for the next one. Because nothing happens in this that I'm interested in.
Oh yeah, there's one theory, and I love it. We have to basically gauge this movie's worth on theories. There's one theory that Rey is the reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker. Have you heard that one?
No.
Yeah, they said that when he passed away, that because he was an immaculate conception, that his essence was what created Rey, and that's why she's so good at what she does. I know. I would have a hard time, because at this point I'm getting sick of the Skywalkers. I've had enough of them. Like
just this shitty family.
Oh my god!
Just stop. You like, I want Kyle to Katarn to come in and just like that, like just step in and get shit done.
I mean,
want, like, some cool extended universe shit to come in. There's a wealth. We don't need more Skywalkers.
Yeah, freaking yeah. I mean, apparently all the midi chlorians in the world can't save you from the high ground. So what does that do in a fight? As long as you have the high ground, who gives a shit what your power level is? Like just this defeated by the high. Here lies Anakin Skywalker, defeated by the high ground.
Watch that be like the secret ability that Snoke like teaches.
The high ground.
Is like you can raise the ground. You can literally just make the ground higher.
That's it.
You'll be untouchable.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna go. That's it. That's what he's gonna go teach Kylo Ren how to stand on top of a hill. There you go. I have the high ground in the fake Bane voice.
As long as you were above them, they can't get you.
Can't get you. I know. No, I liked Finn and Poe. They were pretty good, but yeah, like I could go on forever about like Emperor Snooky, that guy. Like he's got his name so silly. I just can't take him seriously. Snook. We go from Darth Maul to Count Dooku, whose real name is Darth Tyrannus. That's metal as shit. We have Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Snook. Where did we go wrong? Like, and that's one of the cool things about being a Sith Lord. You have a badass name given to you, Darth Plagueis the Wise. Yeah, man, that's metal as shit.
Yeah, we gotta stop. In fact, oh goodness, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, man. I am so glad all you guys stuck around. Like we have had a decent amount tuning in constantly. Like we rarely ever drop below 10. I am super happy that you guys are tuned in. This really does, this means a lot. I mean, hell, if do you guys want us to do more of these events about movies and stuff? We'll do a Force Awakens one if you want.
We'll do one every damn week. Like this is easy for us. Like this is just, we love just shooting the shit, and we love it. It's a dialogue, that word is thrown around a lot, but like, art criticism, it's a dialogue. It's all about approaching it from different angles and taking everything into consideration. That's what it's all about. We want to just chat with you guys and get to the truth.
Yeah. H-Man Gaming 35, I'm not sure if I've seen this guy before, but he pointed out, he said, although Batman v Superman has its problems, I overall really love the film. Batfleck did a great paranoid Batman, and the film really hits main points well. Yeah, man. I mean, I am kind of glad that on my friends list, most of my friends they seem to be objective in the sense that they don't just listen to other people. Like they'll watch something and be like, I feel this way, or like they actually like apply themselves to the movie. They don't just go based on what someone tells them. That drives me nuts. And that's something I think it's part of why you and we had to make this, because there's that other video, the other podcast that people keep spreading around left and right, like, oh look, this is the gospel. Our friends made this podcast about Batman. So like,
right.
let's edit this one down, and we'll have our own now. We'll have our own to combat them with now.
Exactly. Like here's some points they make. Like, come on, like seriously. And I'm also pleasantly surprised with people. Like I only have like 3 or 4 friends in my feed who just didn't really like the movie. But like one of my friends, he posted a review. He just gave it like an average straight, like 5 out of 10. He stated he wished he could be the type of person who enjoys this movie. This film just bored him, but there was a lot of good things going on. And I said, okay, that's fair. I don't agree completely with that, but at least you're not saying this film is just a worthless piece of shit. You gotta see what they put into it. You gotta break it down. All the elements, the cast, the music, the cinematography, the themes, like you got to look at everything they're throwing at us. And yeah, was it really that bad? And I know, it was not only that bad, it wasn't bad at all, really. Any gripes that I have will probably be fixed with this director's cut coming out in July. Like, I want to see this more complete version of the story, and I'm sure I'll like it even more. I'd like the director's cut of Watchmen even more than I did theatrically. So, yeah. there's really not much to hate. I really went in and to this movie, and I could only find a few things that made me raise my eyebrow. I was with it 100% of the way.
Every time. And this is a 2.5 hour movie. For the fact that both of us have sat through it 3 times and are gonna go want to see it a fourth time, like this is a long movie. This has
Right.
length to it, and we want to go again. Like I want to go again. I want to go 4, 5, 6 times. Like I want to do whatever I can to support this universe, and I urge any person out here to help support this. It's doing well, but I have a feeling it's going to drop off as of next weekend. We need to don't let this negative hype hurt the film. I was not on board with this DC cinematic universe with Man of Steel, but after watching this, I am 100% on now. I am so committed now.
I'm
to
excited
seeing
for
this.
comic book movies again. It really just this they put it out there, and despite like some people's negative reactions, it's showing like this is what we can do with these characters. We can have like we can have contemplative plots about like people dying and what these heroes should be doing, like the ethics behind it. And it's like we get a little bit of that with Marvel. In fact, I mean, the whole premise for Civil War is strikingly similar. You know, the whole struggle between Tony and Steve. You know, we just need to check that we need to put this power in check. You know, got some similar themes going on, but I've got a feeling when I see this movie and I'm seeing like a dozen people running around at each other, you know, some of these characters who have not been established in any capacity before, I'm like, what does this mean? What are they fighting for? Like, and these are the things I'm going to be looking for in the movie. I want to make sure that this civil war, because you can't just throw that around. We know it's not going to be a perfect adaptation of the comic, right?
Not even close. Like it's
so they're throwing, they're throwing that title around. Yeah, 8 guys fight. Yeah, exactly. They're throwing that title around. It's got to mean something. So I really hope that movie is going to drive it home for me. The Captain America movies have a great track record. I like the first one a lot. Like we said, it worked really phenomenally because they put Cap in his time period, and it worked. It basically worked as well as a Captain America movie could do at that time. And the sequel, they upped the ante. Now we have Cap in our contemporary world. What kind of questions does that raise? You know, and so hopefully they don't blow it with 3. I really hope that the Marvel universe continues to grow and get better. I want Thanos to be great.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they've been building up this Infinity Stone shit for a while. Like, I don't want to be let down by that. I'm looking forward to that as well. When I just because I'm saying I don't like the Marvel stuff as much, I'm still gonna see it. Like, I'm gonna go out and see it and give it my best. You know, oh God, I don't want to get into the latest Fantastic Four now, but I even watched that and I'm like, you know, this isn't Dragon Ball Evolution bad. I watched the latest thing. Yeah, you know, it's not great, not even a little, but there are some cool scenes. There's a scene where like Dr. Doom like explodes 20 people's heads. You know, it's menacing. It almost works. It was a decent try. Anyway, but yeah, I don't want to hate any movie. I just want to go into it. You know, what did it bring to the table? Was it worthwhile?
The only times I'm gonna hate a movie for existing is when it exists to keep the license from a company that would clearly do it better. Then I would hate why it's around, because if it wasn't around, like basically the reason Fantastic Four exists. I'm frustrated that I will never see Doctor Doom and Reed Richards in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So as a result, same with Fox. Like those guys, I'm frustrated because what it could be. Yes. And as a result, that's why I'm staunchly opposed to them. I'll still see them probably.
I wish they could just strike a freaking deal with Disney at the very least. Like, I'm interested to see what they'll do with Spider-Man and Civil War. But like, again, like I just don't see them continuing the Bryan Singer X-Men universe for much longer. I just like where else are they gonna go? Like, Hugh Jackman is not gonna be Wolverine for much longer. They're gonna be like recasting Wolverine before you know it. They're gonna need to rebrand the whole X-Men cinematic universe. So like, yeah, it would be perfect timing for them to just give it to Marvel. Just be like, here you go. Now you can truly have that expanded universe because X-Men's pretty big deal. These characters have big roles in things like the Infinity Gauntlet. So it's
Galactic.
we need yep.
All the gods. Speaking of which, maybe you and I can we got that Infinity Gauntlet thing. Maybe you and I at this point, since considering what's happening, maybe we can wrap that one up,
Yeah. That will be some great synergy. And do these nerd podcasts. Hey, we're doing our own production of Infinity Gauntlet,
Yeah.
We got something going here. Looks like we got a little audience. We still got at least we got like 10 people with us still. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
Well, what's Jeff asking us here?
Jeff he asked us what we thought about Guardians of the Galaxy, which I felt maybe we'll have with this. What do you guys think about us going through every superhero movie, just having an episode for each one?
Yeah,
it'd be kind of fun. Oh, yeah. I got a question. I'll give this to you. What do you feel about the new Ghostbusters film?
I think what my attitude is, why not? It's been a while since the Ghostbusters have been on the screen. I think the idea of having an all-girl Ghostbusters, like, I'm with that. However, there are just some things in the trailer with God, what's that actress's name? Not Melissa McCarthy, not Kristen Wiig, African American. I feel like her character is just like is going to be the victim of a lot of crummy jokes. And like I've explained to you, they've backpedaled and said that her character was originally written for Melissa McCarthy. There's not going to be racial humor. Her character was meant for Melissa McCarthy.
I don't know.
They literally said that in the trailer. Yeah, I don't know if it's a race thing or a woman thing, but I'm pissed.
It's like, what? It's clear. Like, it's not. The jokes aside from like that one, I'll give them that. There's one joke I liked. It was the one where like there's all those heads and like the one of them just sitting there with the purple wig on and scares her. And it was like, is it the hair or is it the whatever?
Yeah. I love her.
That was good.
She's so funny on SNL. I'm really excited to see her. I'm hopeful. I think, and I heard that there was some reaction to either like the script or an early screening of the film that said that the jokes were just bad. I'm really hoping that it's not, because this is a comedy, and
if pain compels you is just
yeah.
That was so uninspired.
That is that was a misstep. The trailer didn't blow me away, but the ghosts, they look fun. The movie looked like it could be fun. I have just some reservations about it. But yeah, what do you think?
The trailers, I'll say the trailers look pretty awful. Aside from that one joke, the special effects look good. However, what was I gonna say? I had something in. Oh yeah, okay. There's one trope that's kind of annoying, and they do it in the trailer, where they refer to, I forgot who it is, but they're referring to one of them, like they're breaking down conveniently what each of the members of the team do. And it was like, oh, you are great with these machines. And it's like, and you do like, this kind of complicated physics better than anybody else. What the fuck? Do you have competitions?
Yeah.
Your power level in you science better than the other sciencer.
No, there is a chance that it will be like a slapdash, like this was just like a sketch comedy movie. This was just basically they wrote like a big old SNL sketch and we just dragged it out for a whole movie. Like
that part, it was like, oh, you do, I forgot what it was. Like it was some sort of math stuff, or it was like you do this kind of math, and no one's better than you at it. And I was like, what the fuck? Do you have like math tools? What do you mean the best? Then it's like, and you like do machines really well, and it's like, and then as I say, and I know the streets, and I was like, who the
now I know you. Yeah, this is. yeah, it could be just kind of childish. I'm hoping that it will be like it will like poke fun at the old 80s stuff. It will bring new stuff to the table. I'm hoping I wish the best. And I are they still doing like the Ghost core movies? They're doing like a dude centric, like more action heavy version of Ghostbusters. Did you hear about
I
that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I actually was never a giant fan of Ghostbusters. I'm just kind of like chiming in because I did see the trailers.
Right. Well, it seems like they're gonna be setting this up for a whole new Ghostbusters cinematic universe. So what the like,
This
we're
is
probably
that's
gonna
not
see a bunch
necessary.
I
It's not
know.
necessary.
Everything's a cinematic universe.
No. It's gonna like have a cross. It's gonna cross promo and like meet with Scooby Doo and stuff. Wait. Oh no, that's actually not a bad idea.
Actually,
No.
no, it's dude. I could do live action Scooby Doo. I mean, I've
Yeah, it
got
would be like live
like
action
really.
Ghostbusters crossover.
Yeah, and not like the old ones. No, you could do an amazing live action Scooby Doo. Those,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're gonna go out. We're gonna do every single adaptation. We're gonna go Flintstones, Viva Rock Vegas.
Oh
We're gonna
boy.
do
Oh boy.
Flintstone. We're gonna go into every. We're gonna go see. Did this do Flintstones justice? Did this do Scooby-Doo? Did this do George of the Jungle?
Barney Rumble.
Is this film a slap in the face to fans of Dudley Do Right? I'm gonna go back to every film and analyze it just how people are analyzing.
Yeah, did this capture the essence of Howard the Duck? Oh man.
Can't wait.
I'd be down for that.
I just want to go back real quick. Yes, I did like Guardians. It was the Ronan was stupid. He was just kind of hammy and just like, "What are you doing?" Like he was just stupid and laughable. But the thing is, it was a funny movie. It was a comedy. The personality of the movie shone through. It was carried by a pretty decent cast of characters. Gamora was okay, Star-Lord, whatever. What really held that together was Drax, Groot, and Rocket. Like, really, you could just have a movie about those guys. And, like, that was the heart of the movie for me. I really felt like those characters in particular. The soundtrack and how it related to Star-Lord as a character. I mean, it was a smart movie. I like James Gunn. He made Slither. He made Super. He's a smart guy. He coincidentally also wrote the scripts for the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, which is
Good to know.
unfortunate. Not a good track record as far as screenwriting goes. But yeah, I really liked a lot of the things Guardians of the Galaxy did. It was not perfect, but it was a refreshing change of pace from a Marvel movie. I was like, this is not connected to the stuff going on at Earth. This is in a new setting where like creativity can flourish. They're adding these interesting worlds, these interesting aliens, cool soundtrack. It was different. I liked it.
Yeah, I dug it. It was if I were to give it a percentage, it's like 85% for a superhero film. It was good.
Yeah, it hit the spot. And this, I mean, I get, but you know what? BVS better. I'm just gonna go back. I think the soundtrack in Guardians of the Galaxy is great, but those are songs that I already love. I already love David Bowie. I heard, but like the original score.
Oh yeah,
Batman versus Superman. I don't remember the music to any of these Marvel movies. Is there an original score? Like I don't remember what the music of Iron Man sounds like.
Yeah. I know there's the Avengers theme. No, I'll give it this though. I have heard the music, the score for the theme of Infinity War, and it's incredible.
Oh yeah,
epic! It's on YouTube. You can check it out.
I will definitely check it out. Yeah, no, but yeah, getting back. Yeah, no, I'll definitely keep an ear out on that kind of stuff. But yeah, if people are gonna praise the soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy, please praise the soundtrack for Batman v Superman. It really adds a nice flavor to the movie. It's and to ignore such is to be stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, next up, let's do Force Awakens. If you guys are down, I'll make an event for it. We'll pick a day, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'm busy with this event thing I'm doing for the rest of the week, but my nights are tied up. And maybe we can do like a late night. We can do like hell, we can do them this week. To be honest, keep the train moving.
Yeah.
Well, the next few nights I'll be back like 10ish or something when I get home. But I say let's keep doing these. If you guys are down to do it, you and Keith and I have so much to talk about Star Wars.
So much. I might have to see it. I think it's actually playing at like the $5 theater, so I might see it another time just to brush up, bring my notepad.
Yeah.
I want to do this the right way. I don't want to do Star Wars a disservice here. I want to give it a fair shake. I want to, tell you just the straight truth, just the skinny, what I liked, the things it did right and the things that they really should have fucking worked on. It had no excuse to not be better. We're talking the biggest franchise that has ever been. They could and should have tried a bit harder in some departments, but that is for another time. We're gonna do the whole episode.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to splice these two together. I'll hopefully have something up relatively soon. Thanks so much, guys, for making this a big success. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Leave some comments in the events about ideas for the next show. So the next one, tentatively, if it might be tomorrow, might be the day after or whatever. I'll let you guys know the date soon. But the next one will be The Force Awakens. Keith and I will give our 2 thoughts on it. We might have a guest in there as well. But yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Well, we'll be in touch soon.
See ya.
Here.